Yes. Shower me with your adoration. Engulf me with your disdain. Feed me your emotion. Feed me your energy. And watch me metabolize it and turn it into power. Feed me your energy. Feed me your energy. Feed me your energy. Get woke. Stay woke.
This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Awoken! JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back on into the channel. This is, of course, the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is, of course, Off the Script, episode 186, part number 2. For your Saturday, September 9th, 2017. Awoken Matt Hardy is bestowing his awoken brilliance upon everybody here on Off the Script. That was actually uploaded on Thursday to his official YouTube channel, Matt Hardy Brand. I wanted to show that to you guys because I found it to be highly entertaining, number one. Number two, we might be getting the awoken stuff sooner rather than later. So we got to see what's happening with that. But I found that to be highly entertaining. I figured I poke some fun at it with you guys. If you missed it, you know, get a laugh out of that, man. It's highly entertaining stuff. We can only hope that we see that on WWE television moving forward. Looks like WWE might be going the route of Jeff Hardy getting a singles push. Where does that leave Matt? We don't know. We can't have Matt just festering in the background. You know, he is the reason why we all wanted the Hardys back in the WWE, and WWE needs to take advantage of what is most popular right now, and what is most popular is a take on the broken. So we need that, and we need that on WWE television. But I wanted to showcase that to you guys if you might have missed that. Matt Hardy Brand on YouTube.com. Make sure you guys go and subscribe. I certainly am. And he posted that Thursday night for everybody to see. So we don't know what's going on with that. Any information on Awoken, and I will let you guys know on a future episode of Off the Script. But this is episode 186, part number 2. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday morning. I got my fucking coffee. Do you guys got your coffee or a cold beverage for my UK folks? Because I know you're drinking a cold beverage in this early afternoon, man. I would be. I know I would be. But if you guys missed part number 1, we talk about the big rumor going around with The Undertaker being added to a triple threat match at WrestleMania 34 with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, possibly for the United States, not the United States, the Universal Championship. It's early. Don't zing me on anything, man. It's fucking early. I didn't even drink this coffee yet. Let me take a sip. Cold. I like my coffee iced, bro. Okay? Like my coffee iced. Anyway, the big story for Off the Script, part number 1 of this weekend show. Undertaker, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Universal Championship match being planned. The idea is from Vince McMahon and his inner circle. The Undertaker can get revenge on his 2 WrestleMania opponents who have defeated him at WrestleMania. And he would exact revenge in New Orleans, where the streak first died. So that is the going rumor right now. And where does that leave John Cena and The Undertaker? I propose my idea is that we do John Cena and The Undertaker at Survivor Series, being that Survivor Series, you know, is just as important to The Undertaker as WrestleMania, because that is the pay-per-view where he originally made his debut in 1990. So I think that would be the best way to go about it. And we discuss everything, man. We discuss all the logic gaps, everything leading up to what could be that main event at WrestleMania. That is all in part 1 of Off the Script. Go and check that out. Link will be within this video in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen. Also uploaded yesterday, Mae Young Classic, episode number 4 review. Make sure you guys go and check that out. I am going to try my best to get all the remaining episodes reviewed this weekend before we hit the finals in Las Vegas on Tuesday night. So we hopefully will get that done. And I hope to get that done for you guys this weekend. But if you missed episode number 4 review, that is live on the channel right now. We talk about Kairi Sane and Tessa Blanchard stealing the show in episode number 4. And more than likely in round 1, to be honest with you. That was the best match. They saved the best for last. Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard. The best match of the first round of the Mae Young Classic. So if you missed that, it will be linked with Off the Script Part 1 from yesterday in the annotation. If you guys missed Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, all on the channel right now. Also, we go over the final roster reveal for part number 4 of WWE 2K18. That is live as well on the channel. Please go and support all that stuff right now. Thank you guys so very much. Quick update. I talked about the YouTube monetization thing, and it was pretty much overturned. I didn't realize how easy it was, and I didn't see it till this morning, that everything that I manually had reviewed became monetized again. So everything I talked about in my video yesterday, everything got overturned and monetized. And you guys were telling me that Off the Script was heavily monetized on Friday. The Mae Young Classic review was heavily monetized. So this may be a good thing. You know, we may be back in business over here, man. Because realistically, there's nothing wrong with my channel. There was never anything wrong with my channel. I'm not discriminatory against anything. I am not, vulgar towards anybody or a specific group. I don't talk about government, politics, religion. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I'm just a regular dude from New York who loves wrestling, who wants to talk about wrestling. There's nothing inappropriate about my channel. You know, some of the haters out there might think so, but their opinion don't mean shit. They're the ones still watching me. They hang on every word that comes out of my mouth. They're the ones swinging from my nutsack every single week. Every week. Everything that I say. I mentioned Roman Reigns, they're swinging from my nutsack. They get all salty. I mentioned something yesterday about, I mentioned something about Triple H being the father of NXT and everybody that's in NXT. I get crucified in the comment section. Do me a favor. Shut your fucking mouth. Because you're the one still watching. Every time I upload, you're there to dislike, but you're watching every minute, every second of every video. Lick my balls and enjoy its saltiness. Thank you so very much. So, things are being monetized, man. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. And I hope to see that continue. And we will keep chugging along until we get 100,000 subscribers. And that YouTube silver play button is hanging behind me in the background. Thank you guys for all your love and support, man. If you do want to support the show, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Best way to do that. Early access to Off the Script. Everybody who is a Patreon got yesterday's video early, 12 hours early, while I played Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is fantastic, by the way. Now I'm up to level 265, or light 265. Got to get ready for the raid, bro. Got to get ready for the raid. So I'm enjoying Destiny, and I don't know if I'm going to have any content on the channel, but on Twitch, we'll be doing stuff next week because we got Nightfalls, we got the raid, we got strikes. Should be a good time, man. But patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Best way to support the show. Early access to Off the Script Retro, which I've been kind of lackadaisical on. I apologize to everybody. But listen, the king of the crop here, the biggest thing on Patreon, right, is the Mario Kart 8 gameplay, which is only available to Patreon, only exclusive. So if you guys love that beloved series that I used to have before Nintendo screwed everything up, it is now exclusively on Patreon. So if you guys want to get that, $5 or more a month, patreon.com/JD206. Barbershop Window, still giving you guys 20% off all my online merchandise for the online shop. We are partnered with Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript, coupon code JD17 at checkout for 20% off your entire purchase. That is still active. We got the new Enzo Amore t-shirt, hopefully coming next week in all its Get Off My TV glory. And if you guys want to support the show for doing absolutely nothing, all you have to do, you can actually play Destiny, you can listen to the show, and you can get something for free just for listening to the show. How do you like that, man? audibletrial.com/offthescript. Enter your information, use our link, and get 30 days free of Audible service, 1 free audio book, and that is a fantastic way to support the show, man. You literally have to do nothing but listen to the show, and you're getting something for free. This is only for all new listeners, all new subscribers of the podcast. So make sure you guys check that out. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And you're going to get 1 free audiobook of your choice. iPhone, Android, PC, whatever device you are on, iPad. And you guys are good to go. You guys are good to go, man. Something for free just for listening to the bullshit that comes out of my mouth. So thank you to everybody that has supported through Audible. You guys are fucking beast. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch for some cool shit coming up. JD from New York on Twitch. You can follow me on there, or if I'm worthy enough, you guys can subscribe for free through Amazon Prime. So that is the best thing to do right now if you guys are on Twitch. And subscribe down below, man. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications. Thank you guys so very much for all your love and support. Let's get into the news and rumors today. We're going to start off with this story, which is making me nauseous as I read it, or as I read the title of it, because I hope to God this is not the case. Jinder Mahal, the worst WWE champion of the last decade. And if you guys don't agree with me, tough shit. Guy sucks. Jinder Mahal has held the WWE Championship for over 100 days now. Do you believe that? Can you honestly believe that statistic? Jinder Mahal, a failure as champion. The reason why Smackdown Live sucks. Just look at the top. Jinder Mahal sucks as champion. Plain as day. And you know what? Listen to this. The Dakota Kai Kavita Devi match, or Kavita Devi match from the Mae Young Classic on YouTube had 1.4 million views on WWE's YouTube channel. I don't know why that is, but that is one of the reasons why this goon is still the WWE champion. Because the traffic from India is substantial. Meanwhile, SmackDown Live is suffering every single week. So, I'm pretty much in the minority here when I say Jinder Mahal is a failure of a champion, because my opinion means nothing. WWE sees those numbers, and they're going to keep the WWE Championship on Jinder Mahal no matter what. But does it really make sense? Are you going to jeopardize the quality of your show by having this clown at the top of the food chain on SmackDown Live, or you're going to give it to a legit guy like Shinsuke Nakamura or an AJ Styles, right? They don't think that is the reason why SmackDown Live is failing. I could honestly sit here and tell you, yes, that is the reason why SmackDown Live is failing. Nobody wants to see Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion. It all starts at the top. It all starts at the top. If your program at the top is suffering this badly, everything below it is going to suffer just as much. It's a domino effect. When AJ Styles was the champion, we didn't have this problem. We didn't have this problem. SmackDown was the best it's ever been when AJ was WWE champion. And don't tell me I'm wrong. Now that this guy's champion, the show has gone down the gutter. Garbage. You're lucky to get a good SmackDown Live on a weekly basis. SmackDown Live was pulling in 80-90% fan polling across the board. Now it's down to 50-50 split. Monday Night Raw is better than SmackDown Live, and I don't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. SmackDown Live makes Raw look better. Because there's more to watch that's important on Monday Night Raw. There's nothing important on SmackDown Live. There's nothing important on SmackDown Live. Until Shinsuke Nakamura wins the title, and when AJ Styles drops the US title, and we get a legit feud for the WWE Championship, and SmackDown Live can regain some of its glory from 2016, then it'll be a good show. But not until this guy is just stripped of the WWE Championship by any means necessary. Garbage. Why am I ranting? Why am I yelling? Why am I raising my voice over Jinder Mahal? Jinder Mahal is rumored to be WWE Champion through WrestleMania 34. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and I'm going to let that sit on your brains for about 10 seconds. I'm going to take another sip because I'm just at a loss of words right now with that title. I know you guys are probably vomiting your alcoholic beverage, or if you guys are here on the East Coast, vomiting your breakfast. I know. I'm sick to my stomach, too. Don't worry about it. My God, man. So, like I said, Dakota Kai, who is Bayley 2.0, if you guys don't know, if you guys are watching the Mae Young Classic, and Kavita Devi, who is trained by the great Khali, some success story you got there. They competed in the Mae Young Classic. Their match had 1.431 million views on YouTube. Do I care? I don't give a shit. This greatly eclipsed any of the other contests uploaded from the Mae Young Classic. Apparently people in India have no taste either, because that wasn't the best match on the Mae Young Classic. Far from it. Now, I'm a fan of Dakota Kai. I'm a fan of what she did and showcased in the Mae Young Classic. I think she could be an even better Bayley with less cringe. But, obviously, the Mae Young Classic is being built around the Pirate Princess. The cute and lovable Kairi Sane. Turns out a bunch of Indian news websites posted the video, which is why the viewership skyrocketed for this match. Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer Live that this is one of the main reasons WWE isn't giving up on Jinder Mahal. Now, Jinder Mahal segments on Smackdown Live, when they're posted to YouTube, how good are they doing? I don't have those numbers in front of me, but if everybody is in agreement here, he's a failure, and nobody is watching Jinder Mahal because he just downright sucks. The guy may look like a champion, but he is not a champion. He pretty much cheated his way to becoming and looking like a champion through illegal substances, because don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm wrong. You're not going to work your ass off in the gym. You got to live in the gym 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to accumulate that type of body. And at that rate, it still wouldn't even be possible. This guy took 2 months away from the company, came back, and looked like, like I said, the best way for me to put it is he looks like fucking, what's that idiot from Resident Evil? Nemesis from Resident Evil. He looks like something out of a comic book. He's just unreal. And I might be, I might be negative when I talk about him, but I just don't see him as a WWE champion. He does nothing to make me believe he is worthy of the WWE Championship. His in-ring style sucks. His matches are boring. He doesn't do anything that anybody else can't do. He might have the look, but that's about it. That's about it. His promos are garbage. I praised this guy in that six-pack challenge back in April. That was the best thing he probably has ever done. That promo was like, wow, I want to see new talent come up from SmackDown Live, and that promo was the definition of opportunity. From then, he hasn't cut a promo even close to that. He's been infused with Randy Orton, garbage. He's been in a feud now with Shinsuke Nakamura, trash. His finisher is one of the worst finishers I have ever seen. What makes this guy a WWE champion? What makes this guy worthy of being a WWE champion? Why? Because he cheats to win? What makes him a good heel? Because he cheats to win? The guy hasn't won a fucking match legitimately since he's won the title. He hasn't done anything legitimately since he's won the title. They put the Singh brothers with him, and I'm supposed to believe he's a great heel champion because he cheats every match. Every match is the same outcome. Every match is scripted with the same ending. Every match, even in a Punjabi prison match, it's booked to be the legitimate same shit. But I'm supposed to like this guy because he cheats to win. I'm supposed to think he's a good heel champion, right? Everybody else watching this guy is blinded by the fact that he is of Punjab descent. Don't fall for the nonsense. This guy sucks. He is garbage. And he is the sole reason why SmackDown Live is in the condition that it's in. So, Alvarez states, basically, you're wondering why WWE is going heavy into India. The answer is right there with the Dakota Kai Kavita Devi match. Alvarez said, so I've said it before, if you're expecting them to give up on Jinder anytime soon, I still predict that he's going to be champion all the way through WrestleMania 34. Now, that is Brian Alvarez predicting that. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but these guys are in the know more so than anybody else. And if they say something like that, that holds a lot of credibility. And it wouldn't be it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that WWE would look at those numbers and think, you know what, we're going to keep the title on Jinder. Now, I don't understand why they would. I think Hell in a Cell is the perfect place to take the title off Jinder and give it to Shinsuke Nakamura. Have Nakamura hold it till WrestleMania. Have AJ win the Royal Rumble. Have your match between Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. End all be all. And AJ Styles can be the WWE champion once again. I would have done it the other way around. I would have had AJ beat Jinder Mahal. And I would have had Nakamura win the Royal Rumble. And I would have had Nakamura's first title win at WrestleMania 34. And I would make him a big deal, just like we were promised he was going to be a big deal on SmackDown Live. But WWE overwhelmed us with Nakamura. They put him in main event after main event after main event, dream match after dream match, sometimes twice appearing on the same episode, kind of losing his appeal. His entrance isn't as impactful as it should be. WWE has seemingly overexposed him. WWE has given him a loss at SummerSlam, which kind of, you know, detract from his overall appeal. WWE has done a lot of things wrong with Shinsuke Nakamura. And I understand that once you make the jump from NXT to SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw, it's just a natural progression that you're going to lose that appeal because you got to be featured more. They're going to suck the blood right out of you to feature you on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. 2 hours, 3 hours for those main shows. NXT is 1 hour. They got a lot of talent that they got to showcase. So Nakamura was still special down in NXT because he wasn't on a show every single week. You know, he would take 2 or 3 weeks away and then come back and, you know, people would be excited to see him. It doesn't happen like that on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. It should. It should. Nakamura should have been booked like a special attraction. Nakamura shouldn't be in dream matches with John Cena with no build. Nakamura shouldn't be on SmackDown Live in dream matches with Randy Orton with no build. You know? WWE has gone about Shinsuke Nakamura the wrong way. To me now, Nakamura is just like everybody else. Ordinary. I still am a big fan of Nakamura. I want to see Nakamura succeed. I love Nakamura's entrance. But I think we're all in agreement on this one as well. I don't think anybody really feels the same way about Shinsuke Nakamura as we did when he was in NXT. And that's a damn shame. And the same thing's going to happen with Bobby Roode. The same exact thing is going to happen with Bobby Roode. It's just a natural progression. It's something that we have to understand. We don't immediately because we expect Triple H to build these guys up and portray them in a certain way, which is the right way. We expect that to translate to the main roster. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a completely different machine on SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. It's as if NXT isn't even a part of WWE because they do things right. SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw, they treat this shit like a joke. They don't treat it right. They don't care. They don't handle with care. You know how you put an item in a package and you stuff it so that it doesn't break and you put the label on the box, handle with care? You know, Triple H should put a sticker on these guys when they come up from NXT, handle with care. Because once Vince McMahon sinks his teeth into them, forget about it. Once you got those teeth marks in you, you're stamped for failure. No, Jinder Mahal, though, all you got to do is disappear for 2 months and come back looking like the Incredible Hulk, and boom, title shot. Boom, marketing in India. Boom, main events. Boom, WrestleMania 34 main event. Come on, give me a break. We all know that the main event for WrestleMania 34 is Nakamura and AJ Styles. If Jinder Mahal is the WWE champion going into WrestleMania 34, putting an extra WrestleMania 34, a colossal, just like Jinder Mahal's finishing move, the Colossus, a colossal failure. Nobody wants to be seeing Jinder Mahal walk into WrestleMania 34 with the WWE Championship. You know, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this way. You know, WrestleMania is the showcase of the immortals still. WWE doesn't portray it as such, but it's still to me. You know, WWE is supposed to feature the best that this company has to offer. If you are sitting there watching me thinking Jinder Mahal is the best at what he does, you're an asshole. Seriously, I don't give a shit if it's your opinion or not. You are a clown, and you know nothing. This guy is not the best at anything, and he should not be walking into WrestleMania with the WWE Championship. At all. You know? I have said this for weeks now. If you are the best in your position at this stage of the game, you should be at the top of your craft. Mahal is not. Mahal would be better suited for the United States Championship. I wouldn't care about that. In fact, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see that because it would fit with his character more so than the WWE Championship. this anti-American having the United States Championship in his grasp, and we just build it up through that. Now, AJ Styles really isn't doing anything much with the United States Championship. He really hasn't. It's been flooded in a sea of nothing with this Kevin Owens feud. You know? The United States Championship has taken a back seat to the silliness of this Owens-McMahon storyline. Now, AJ's on his own away from Kevin Owens. Are we going to start seeing the U.S. Open challenges? I hope so. I really hope so. I would love to see Ty Dillinger this Tuesday bring AJ Styles to the brink of defeat, getting a great match for both men on SmackDown Live. That's the first step you need to do. Then I'd love to see Bobby Roode maybe make an open challenge at a pay-per-view, you know? Have him have an open challenge at a pay-per-view. Come out, win the United States Championship. I'd love to see Bobby Roode, the WWE Champion, you know? And I don't see him factoring into the WWE Championship title picture now anyway. The U.S. Championship would be great around Bobby Roode's waist. He'd make it glorious. Because when Nakamura wins that belt, you're not going to start throwing guys in front of him like Bobby Roode. Or maybe WWE will. They've done it before. They've done it with Nakamura and Cena, Nakamura with Orton. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw Bobby Roode in front of Nakamura. That's something that needs to be built. That's something that needs to be marinated over time. You know? But AJ Styles is definitely next in line. There's really nobody else on the SmackDown Live roster that you want to see as WWE Champion. It's too soon for Bobby Roode. Nakamura is the only one right now. AJ Styles is the United States Champion. Nakamura should win it, and he should focus on a feud, or they should focus on a feud between AJ Styles and Nakamura. Tease it. Tease it. When Nakamura wins the title, I don't even know who's going to be next in line to challenge Shinsuke Nakamura. There's nobody on that roster that I even want to see as WWE Champion. So what the hell do they do? You know? What do they do? I hope, and the only way out of this right now is Nakamura winning the WWE Championship. There needs to be a shakeup. There needs to be a shakeup. There needs to be new blood injected on SmackDown Live, because if Nakamura wins that title, there's going to be nobody else on that roster even worthy of challenging Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. Bobby Roode, like I said, it's too soon. AJ Styles, too soon, and he's the U.S. Champion. There needs to be a shakeup. Maybe get Samoa Joe over to SmackDown Live. Maybe get Finn Balor over to SmackDown Live. You know? Start trading some guys from Raw to SmackDown. Randy Orton apparently, reportedly, unhappy with his position on SmackDown Live. Get him over to Monday Night Raw, you know? I wouldn't mind seeing that. There's nothing more for Randy Orton to do on SmackDown Live. Samoa Joe coming back from injury. They're not going to put him in anything important. Do some trades. Joe traded for Randy Orton. Start doing some trades, you know? Finn Balor's not doing anything on Monday Night Raw. Get him over to SmackDown Live. They're not doing anything with him. He's not going to be in the Universal Championship picture for a very long time. So why not put him over to SmackDown Live and have him feud for the WWE Championship? Nakamura, Balor, Styles, what a top of the card that would be. Joe? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You got to freshen it up. You got to freshen it up. And while you're at it, send the club over to SmackDown Live. Maybe make Finn Balor heel. Maybe have them take over SmackDown Live. Just like Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish are doing. Just under the radar, you know? Surprise everybody. Have Balor turn heel. Freshen things up. Other trades got to happen as well. Other trades have to happen as well. But we'll talk about that when we get closer to a possible superstar shakeup. If we're going to be doing a superstar shakeup, trades need to happen. They made it a big deal when both general managers were down at NXT at TakeOver Brooklyn SummerSlam weekend scouting talent. Trades need to happen. Guys can't just pop up on shows just because they're on Raw now and on SmackDown now, or someone's promoted from NXT, you know? Asuka's being moved up. Why? Someone has to move down in order for Asuka to move up. Like I already told you guys, it's like a minor league baseball team. You're not going to call somebody up without sending somebody down. Things need to happen. WWE has a proverbial playground. It's like a huge puzzle. It's like a Lego, you know? Remember when we were young? I used to love the pirate Legos. I used to go and collect all the fucking pirate Legos. It's like building a huge Lego set. WWE has, you know, this amazing roster. Have fun with it. Be creative. It's like they do things and in turn it comes off as if they don't care. Meanwhile, us fans, we're dreaming of scenarios and we're fantasy booking scenarios and coming up with better ideas than these actual legit creative writers can. And they take it as, it's just my job. I don't give a shit. We're going to move Asuka up to Monday Night Raw without having any explanation. Oh, she signed a deal. She signed a contract with Monday Night Raw. What does the term include? How long is the contract supposed to be? You know? Who is moving down from Monday Night Raw? You gotta start freshening things up. That's what I want them to do. And speaking of freshening things up, they gotta get the title of Jinder Mahal. They gotta get the title of Jinder Mahal. So that is my thoughts on that. Now, Alvarez goes on to say, if they do a fatal four-way at Hell in a Cell, that's even more likely. Like in a one-on-one match in Hell in a Cell, nobody can get in. That's just not what they're going to do with this guy. He's always having interference. He could easily steal a pin in a fatal four-way at Hell in a Cell. So I do expect they'll do something like that. Screw somebody somehow, and Jinder gets the win. He holds the title. But I think he's going to be champion for a very long time. I don't think they're giving up on him. So that is what Bryan Alvarez is stating about Jinder Mahal. Speaking of Smackdown Live, I have news on why JBL really quit Smackdown Live. And it has something to do with his charity work down in Bermuda. But the real reason why JBL quit Smackdown Live was detailed in Sports Illustrated by Justin Barrasso. Now, reports from Sports Illustrated state that the decision for JBL to exit WWE began last October when his contract expired. He put his notice well before the Mauro Ranallo allegations began. The story also states that JBL was not the primary person of interest in the Ranallo story, and Vince McMahon's stubbornness and refusal to cave into public pressure meant that JBL would not be disciplined for his actions, which was a shame because JBL was pretty much, you know, the puppet for Vince McMahon. He was merely there as Vince McMahon's puppet, as Vince McMahon fed him stuff from the back to the microphone to the headset, and they just cut down Mauro Ranallo because Mauro, you know, was not really the ideal announcer that WWE wanted in that spot. They wanted somebody who's more corporate like Tom Phillips. Mauro is not typically what WWE looks for. He is just, you can hear him compared to everybody else. He is not cut from the same cloth. He beats to the rhythm of his own drum. He is very unique. He is very outlandish with some of his puns and some of his comparisons. You know, all that made SmackDown very, very watchable. Now, they added Corey Graves to the SmackDown Live commentary team to replace JBL, which is a nice addition. I'm happy to see Phillips and Graves back together. I think they work better together. I don't think Phillips worked well with JBL. I don't think JBL worked good with anybody. When he first came to SmackDown Live, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like, wow, it's nice to hear a new voice on SmackDown Live. Then as the years gone on, the guy got increasingly worse, and he was absolutely at some points the worst thing about the brand. He is so overly annoying, he was god-awful to listen to. I mean, you could put me in that position, and I can do a better job than JBL. He's just an asshole. He's not fun to listen to. When I want to listen to a commentary team, I want to hear something that makes me enjoy the broadcast. JBL was making me hate SmackDown Live. Hopefully Corey Graves can turn me around and I can start enjoying SmackDown Live a little bit more. Because I love what Corey Graves does. So Barrasso reports that the exit began last October. He put his notice into WWE before the Mauro Ranallo allegations began. The story also states that JBL was not the primary person of interest in the Ranallo story, and Vince McMahon's stubbornness and refusal to cave into public pressure meant that JBL would not be disciplined for his actions. However, there were people on WWE's board of directors that were appalled that JBL was able to keep a high-profile on-air position with the company after Ranallo's story gained steam in the media. The SI story goes on to say that travel was another issue for JBL, so he was bothered by the extensive travel. He was scheduled to arrive for SmackDown Live on Sunday, but would not be on the air until Tuesday's SmackDown Live. JBL then on his own would change travel plans so that he would arrive on Tuesday morning just in time for SmackDown Live. This, according to Justin Barrasso of SI.com, was going on for 2 months, and JBL surprised executives by giving his notice when he was confronted about the flights being rescheduled. So JBL, he's got charity work in Bermuda. He's got a house down in Bermuda. He does good stuff for the kids. That's fine. Congratulations to you. You got somewhat of a good heart. But as far as a WWE announcer, as far as what he did on the job, as far as what he did to earn income or extra income, because he didn't need WWE. He was there because he genuinely wanted to be there. But as far as what he did, his talent on air for WWE, god awful. Good riddance. Couldn't wait till they got rid of him. Either he was going to step down or they were going to get rid of him. Thank God he took it upon himself to step away, because he was god awful at his position. Announcers are supposed to be nice to listen to. They're supposed to be enjoyable to listen to. WWE has a lot of unenjoyable announcers. NXT's got Percy Watson. Monday Night Raw's got Booker T. SmackDown had JBL. So WWE has this infatuation with three-man announce teams. I think the three-man announce team is what's bringing down some of the overall product. When you got 1 and 2 guys there, that's it. If they got Phillips and Graves doing the play-by-play and color commentary, that would be it. If they got Graves and Michael Cole doing the play-by-play commentary, that would be enough. If they got Ronaldo and Nigel McGuinness in NXT, that would be enough. You know? It's ridiculous to see Percy Watson on the NXT announce team and something in the ring could happen, right? For example, I'm going to take... who's down in NXT right now? I want to use a good example. Andrade Cien Almas, right? We'll take Andrade Cien Almas. He's one of my favorites down in NXT. He can go up against, let's take, for example, Cesar Bononi. They had a squash match on NXT this week. Cesar Bononi beat Andrade Cien Almas the first time around, and this week, it was Almas having the squash match. Totally destroyed Cesar Bononi. So say, for example, Almas Irish whips Bononi into the corner and does that brutal spot where he double knees them into the face. Now, Percy Watson, instead of adding something enlightening to the commentary booth, he adds something that me as a viewer already knows. He's like, wow, Cesar Bononi looks injured from that devastating double knees. No, he's going to fucking look good. No, he's going to feel good. No, he's going to enjoy taking this double knee from Andrade Cien Almas. No shit, Sherlock. Of course he's injured. Of course he's hurt. Dumbass. That's the shit we got to hear on NXT. Meanwhile, Nigel McGuinness is sarcastic, and he works well with Morrow. You got Morrow spreading the knowledge and calling out actual wrestling moves and making something that really isn't that important sound important. Corey Graves on SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw has always got those quick jabs. He's quick on his feet with the sarcastic remarks. You know, Michael Cole is Michael Cole. He's got a good announcer in him somewhere. We've seen it for the UK Classic. You know, he was balls to the wall, unchained. He actually sounded like a good commentator on the UK Classic. But when you see him on Monday Night Raw, I can't stand him. I honestly can't stand him. JBL is gone. He's one of 3 guys that have got to get the hell off WWE announce teams. He's the first one to go. You know, Booker T's the next, and then Percy Watson, God forbid, he stays on any longer than he has to, man. Absolutely adds nothing to the commentary team. Nothing. Stupid idiot. Can't stand that shit, man. JBL, leaving SmackDown Live, good. Corey Graves replaced him on Tuesday SmackDown Live. We got news here. Let me, I did have something on the Mae Young Classic, being that I did upload the Mae Young Classic review yesterday, episode number 4. Go and check that out if you guys have missed that. We talk about Kairi Sane and Tessa Blanchard. The reception so far for the Mae Young Classic. WWE released the first 4 episodes of the Mae Young Classic tournament on August 28th. On September 4th, they released the remaining 4 episodes that bring us to the finale this coming Tuesday in Las Vegas. The idea was for this to be a Netflix-style release where WWE fans could binge-watch several episodes at a time. I was the one to tell you guys I don't like that format. I wish they did it week by week. But WWE wanted to do it this way. I don't understand why. I don't like binge-watching anything at all. Like I told you guys, the last thing that I binge-watched was several episodes of the last season of The Walking Dead so that I could finally get up to the finale of last season. And Andrew Dice Clay's comedy on Showtime, Dice, Season 1. Fantastic. I watched Episode 1. I enjoyed myself so much and laughed so much that I had to watch the remaining 5 episodes in that season. That's the only stuff that I binge-watch. It's very difficult for me to watch 4 hours of Mae Young Classic coverage. It really is. No matter how good some of the stuff could be. But I wish WWE would go back and do it just in a traditional format, but it looks like they're not because the reception so far has been very, very good. This is a much different approach compared to the Cruiserweight Classic, which aired one episode a week for the duration of the tournament. Now, according to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Mae Young Classic is a big hit for the network. Meltzer says that the first 8 episodes of the tournament are the top 8 watch shows on the network this week. This means that the first block of episodes that they were released last week beat both NXT and 205 Live in viewership. I wouldn't be surprised if Off the Script gets more viewers than 205 Live. Who cares? What this data seems to tell us is a few things. First, the WWE fans are obviously enjoying the tournament and watching the women's talent compete. The second is that the Netflix style of release seems to have worked, and we might see more of this format in the future. The third is that this likely means more tournaments in the future for WWE. I'm glad because I love tournaments, and I hope the next thing that they do is a tag team tournament so that they can replenish the tag team divisions on these shows. It needs to happen. And I'd love to see another Cruiserweight Classic. I'd love to see that. I'd love if WWE brought back the King of the Ring and made it into a big spectacle. I really wish they'd do that, you know? But time will tell. Time will tell. So that is the news on the Mae Young Classic. I'm probably in the minority here. I know a lot of you guys just like to sit and binge watch certain things. I don't have Netflix, so I don't really understand or grasp or like the concept of binge watching anything. But some of you guys do. You know, you don't want to wait for the next week to find out something. If there's a big cliffhanger, you don't want to wait 7 days for another episode. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. Especially in the line of work that I have right now. I got to review this shit. You know? I got to sit down and watch the last 4 episodes sometime this weekend. You know, when all I want to do is play Destiny 2. But I got to get this stuff out before Tuesday because I don't want to have the live finale happen and I didn't review the quarterfinals and the semifinals yet. So it's a little difficult for me. It's a little overwhelming for me, but I guess that's my fault. But it is what it is. I just wish they go back to a week-by-week basis. It makes it a lot easier on everybody. So we have news. Let me see what I got here. I got news on Nikki Bella, this outlandish story about Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella wants to fight Ronda Rousey. You know? Is it me, or is Nikki Bella, you know, trying to just remain in the spotlight when she's really not all that important anymore? You know? She made an outlandish comment that Total Divas was the start or had a big influence on the women's revolution. What? I mean, did John Cena feed you that line? I mean, did all those, you know, did all that surgery that you had, all that enhancement did you have, did it go to your brain? I mean, seriously. Total Divas was a direct, huge influence on the women's revolution. How stupid can one person be? And she was serious when she said this comment, you know? That's why AJ Lee had to cut her down. That's why AJ Lee had to cut down all those women. In fact, Total Divas did nothing for the women's revolution. Total Divas was a niche product that tried to maintain some of the fan base from the diva era. And they tried to take some of the women's revolution and some of the bigger names in the women's revolution and get them more of a household name. Yet, it did nothing but embarrass them in the end. You know? When you think of women's revolution, do you think of Lana? No. Do you think of Nikki Bella? No. Do you think of Brie Bella? Of course not. Do you think of Natty? No. No, of course not. Natty was one of the women who was pretty much outcast, right? They put her on the show because they had nothing to do with her at all on television. So they figured, you know what, let's get Natty in the spotlight. Put her on Total Divas. Natty could out-wrestle anybody on the WWE's women's roster. They had nothing to do for her. They had nothing for her to do storyline-wise. Natty was a bigger name because of Total Divas, because she had nothing to do with the women's revolution. So now, you know, they feel like they put Natty there and that's a product of how successful the women's revolution is. No. Natty was around before the show Total Divas. Natty was around before the women's revolution. You just didn't want to do anything with her for whatever reason. Somebody didn't like her, right? Paige is a perfect example of how Total Divas ruined the women's revolution. Coming from NXT, we all loved Paige. Paige was beloved, right? The punk rock look, the anti-diva, right? That was her nickname, the anti-diva. And then you put her on the main roster and you put her on Total Divas. For what? Why? So Total Divas ruined one of the women's revolution's top names in Paige. So whatever the case may be, Total Divas, again, didn't do anything for the women's revolution. Like I said with Natty. Natty was around before Total Divas. Natty was around before the women's revolution. That was WWE's mistake. Natty should have been in with the women's revolution and is not a direct success for the women's revolution because she was on Total Divas. Not at all. Brie Bella and Nikki Bella are delusional if they think Total Divas has anything to do with the success of the women's revolution. Matches like Bayley and Sasha are the reason why the women's revolution is where it is. Women like Asuka is the reason for the women's revolution. Women like Becky are the reason why the women's revolution is where it's at. And it's going to continue down the line. Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, names like that. Shayna Baszler, right? That is what's going on. That is what's going on with the women's revolution. They did nothing to enhance the women's revolution at all. You were lucky to be a part of it. You were a part of it because you were there. You were a part of it because you were a name that they could use and utilize to get matches out of the real women who are most important to the women's revolution. Total Divas had nothing to do with the women's revolution at all. AJ Lee, there's a reason why AJ Lee cut them down to size in her own proverbial pipe bomb on Monday Night Raw when she cut that promo, you know? If anything, AJ Lee is a direct influence on the women's revolution because she was the one who spoke out against you and the show and Stephanie McMahon. Remember when AJ Lee spoke out about give the women a chance? You know, how the women are just as good as the men or as equal to the men. Stephanie McMahon posted that on Twitter and AJ Lee had to speak up, you know, which she did because she really didn't care. She wasn't an employee of the company. That's why women's merchandise is selling just as good as the men's merchandise. That's why the women are just as talented as the men and get not even a tenth of the television time that the men get. So how are you saying that they're equal in all ways to what the men are doing? You haven't showcased the women in the right light. How can you even say something like that when you know it's not true? AJ Lee made Stephanie McMahon look like a complete hypocrite on Twitter. That's where the women's revolution came from. That's what kickstarted this entire thing. The matches with Sasha and Bayley, fine. We weren't seeing that shit on the main roster. The reason why we're seeing stuff like that on the main roster now is because of AJ Lee. Otherwise, nobody else would have spoke out about it. Otherwise, we would have still been in the age of diva. Nikki Bella is a retard. Nikki Bella is trying to remain in the limelight. Having stupid statements like that being said, being on Dancing with the Stars, right? Now she wants to fight Ronda Rousey. Shut your mouth. Nobody wants to see you fight Ronda Rousey. What type of match is that? If I want to see Ronda Rousey in a ring, I want to see Ronda Rousey in a legit fight with a legit competitor. Nikki Bella, give me a break. One of her breast implants would probably explode at the sight of Ronda Rousey. Give me a break. Ronda Rousey's impending debut in WWE has a lot of people talking. We don't even know she's going to be in the WWE yet. But Ronda is bound to be in some type of confrontation if her showdown with the horsewomen of WWE is any indication of things. Nikki Bella has been out nursing a neck injury since WrestleMania, but TMZ caught up with the total Bellas and Divas star and producer. They initially asked Nikki Bella about her upcoming marriage to John Cena. She was coy with her response as she put her bags in her back seat of her car. You could tell she didn't expect to have a camera on her. Good old TMZ. Next, they asked Bella if she was excited about Ronda Rousey coming to the WWE, and I quote, "Of course, I'd love to fight against her," Nikki Bella said. When asked if she was serious, Nikki said she would fight with Ronda too, if given the chance. The future Miss Cena was also asked if she thought Ronda was really coming to the WWE. "I don't know, but I hope so," she replied. In the end, Nikki Bella said she hasn't heard anything definite about Ronda coming to the WWE. If she knows something, she really isn't going to tell anybody. So, that's pretty much that. I just wanted to get that out there. Outlandish comments that Nikki Bella wants to fight Ronda Rousey. Aww. And I hope you get your ass kicked if it does happen. We got news on Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is out with a knee injury. And I have an update on Samoa Joe. The Samoan submission machine might be crazy strong in the ring, but he's just a human being just like you and I. He bleeds just like everybody else, but his knee was injured recently, and it wasn't expected at all. Samoa Joe was slated to face John Cena in what could have been another dream match that WWE was going to give away on free television with no build, but it never happened, which could have been in an even better outcome than originally expected. You know, because I wouldn't really put it past WWE to put Joe over Cena. I'm pretty sure with this entire Cena-Reigns deal and Cena moving to Monday Night Raw, they weren't going to have immediately jobbed to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe probably would have been on the receiving end of a loss. So this injury might be a blessing in disguise for Samoa Joe. But there is some good news for those who miss seeing him latch a coquina clutch on some hapless victims. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that, at last word, Samoa Joe is expecting to make an in-ring return around late October. It's unclear if they plan to use him immediately, but he'll be missing a good amount of time for this knee injury in the end. Hopefully WWE will move him on to something quickly as they build towards Survivor Series. Don't hold your breath to see Joe make any kind of surprise attack anytime soon, because current word is slated that he will return at the end of October. I hope Joe a speedy recovery and he gets back from injury soon. Like I said, with the whole Jinder Mahal story, I would move Samoa Joe upon return to Smackdown Live. There's nothing really much more for him to do on Monday Night Raw, you know? Besides maybe the match with John Cena, and John Cena is a free agent. He can show up on any show he wants. You know, they did the match with Brock Lesnar. They did the match with Seth Rollins. He's fought Roman Reigns multiple times. He was in that Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam. The only match that he really hasn't had on Monday Night Raw, and I'm not going to lump John Cena into that because he's a free agent. You can do that match anywhere. The only match he really hasn't had one-on-one is with Braun Strowman, and that's the only thing that I would really want to see from Monday Night Raw side. You know, or Finn Balor. But WWE could have easily gave Joe the title. You know, maybe he wouldn't have gotten injured if they gave him the title. Who the hell knows? My original plan was to give Samoa Joe the title coming out of the Brock Lesnar feud and have him dominate Monday Night Raw and build the Universal Championship around Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, culminating in a match between those two guys at WrestleMania, with the Demon overcoming the Destroyer and winning his Universal Championship back that he seemingly has never gotten a rematch for. That was my idea, but it doesn't look like that. We could see Samoa Joe and Finn Balor end up on SmackDown Live if there's some sort of superstar shakeup. That's what I would do. As of right now, nothing for Joe on Monday Night Raw. Even if he does return from injury, I would move him to SmackDown Live. Sad news on Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground Season 4 not looking likely. A few years ago, Lucha Underground debuted and was instantly one of the most interesting wrestling programs in the world. It was completely different from most promotions with some crazy storylines and over-the-top characters. However, time hasn't been kind to Lucha Underground, and things are now starting to look bad. Rumors have been going around that Season 4 was not going to happen, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Season 4 of Lucha Underground is not looking likely at all. The promotion doesn't make a ton of money, and the owners aren't happy with the idea of paying more money to finance another season. This also messes with the contract situations. None of the talent, this is amazing to me, and I would be fucking pissed. None of the talent has been paid since the shows were taped 15 months ago. If the company goes out of business, the free agent market is going to be flooded quickly. Also, via her Twitter account, Lucha Underground ring announcer has confirmed, Melissa Santos has confirmed, she is expecting a child with Brian Cage in 2018. She is pregnant, Brian Cage is the father, and that is that. I wish them the best. Good old Melissa Santos, man. One of the most loveliest women in all of professional wrestling. Good on Brian Cage, man. Lucky man. Brian Cage and Melissa Santos, I wish them the best. But, you know, I don't understand how people are saying Lucha Underground isn't the same as it was in seasons 1 and 2. I mean, if you guys are watching, I don't know what the hell you guys are watching, if you guys are watching at all. People ask me, JD, where the Lucha Underground reviews? Nobody watched them. Nobody really gets El Rey. Unless you got Verizon Fios like I do, you're not going to have Lucha Underground. You know, and you can buy them on iTunes. You can buy the episodes on iTunes, but I don't know how many people are doing that. You know, Netflix has Lucha Underground, but I don't think they got season 3. I don't see how people are losing interest in Season 3. Season 3 has some of the best matches you're going to see in all of wrestling this year. I don't understand. The Cueto Cup itself has spawned some of the best matches you're going to see all year in professional wrestling. So I don't understand how Season 4 is not likely, you know? I would be dying to have a Season 4. But people aren't watching. They don't want to pay money for a Season 4 if people aren't watching. They got to pay the talent. They got to pay for it to be in development. Just a shitty situation, man. Fans of Lucha Underground are going to be very, very upset if Season 4 does not happen. You know? Rey Mysterio, looking like he said it to GFW if they don't go out of business. Johnny Impact, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. Johnny Nitro. You know, one of the best talents in the world. He's with GFW, you know? So, I don't know what's going on, man. Lucha Underground Season 4 not looking likely. Very disappointing if that's not happening, because I'm loving Season 3 right now. So, I don't know what's going on. We got Ultimate Lucha coming up. Ultimate Lucha Trace coming up. You know, that's going to be great. Matanza versus Rey Mysterio. Going to be good shit, man. Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma for the Lucha Underground title. I mean, why would you want to miss any of that shit? But hopefully something breaks and we do get a Season 4. But right now, not looking likely, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Young Bucks were issued a cease and desist from WWE. Listen to this. Apparently, if you're a Young Bucks fan, you won't be seeing them do the suck it sign, DX chop anymore. The Young Bucks are known all over the world as not only one of the most charismatic teams in the world and movers of a ton of merchandise, but if you're a WWE guy, then they might have a target on their back. You know anything about the Young Bucks, it's like they love telling people to suck it while doing the crotch chop. It's a huge homage to D-Generation X. And the Young Bucks were obviously inspired by Shawn Michaels by their constant use of super kicks. It's okay to be a fan of Shawn Michaels and DX, but don't really copyright infringe on their gimmick, you know? You could do the suck it, but just don't say suck it. Because you know WWE was going to come down on you. WWE owns everything. Remember that. So, apparently WWE determines who can tell people to suck it. Because recently they sent out a cease and desist letter to both Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. A letter from WWE won't stop the Young Bucks from talking about it. They're focused on the cease and desist on a recent episode of the YouTube show, and later made a remark about it on social media. According to Nick Jackson, WWE has taken away their hashtag FTR, meaning fuck the revival, Cody's last name they took, Suck It, Hangman, and now Christmas. Vince McMahon might not be, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Vince McMahon is the Grinch. Says here, Vince McMahon might not be the Grinch, but the Young Bucks should be careful because WWE has sued people in the past for less. Vince McMahon is the Grinch. He really is the Grinch. So next time you see the Young Bucks do their thing, they won't be yelling, suck it, while doing a crotch chop, and that might be the reason. Sometimes you have to tread lightly around this kind of thing, but WWE is making a pretty bold statement, trying to be the only ones who can say, suck it, on television. That's lame. WWE is lame, man. Now, of all the things that you have to worry about, you're worried about the Young Bucks saying, suck it? Are you kidding me? There's not anything else that's going on in your company that you need to concern yourself with. This is of utmost importance. Come on, bro. That is absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Whatever. Young Bucks will be in the WWE before you know it. You can do suck it all you want because they own it. And WWE on their television, you could do whatever you want. As long as they own it, you can do it. Whatever. CM Punk news, and this is legit news, not like that other clown. Failure Views Entertainment. CM Punk awaiting confirmation on next MMA fight. CM Punk was the second city savior in pro wrestling. But after he walked out of WWE following the 2014 Royal Rumble, and I don't know why he wouldn't. Did you see the way he got eliminated in that Royal Rumble? My God, I would have walked away too. It doesn't look like he misses pro wrestling very much. He's been a busy guy. Yeah, you hear that, Sean? You hear that, Sean? He doesn't miss pro wrestling, bro. He's not coming back right now, bro. Clown. CM Punk's been a busy guy in the meantime. Not with WWE, clown. Punk appeared on MTV's The Challenge. Challenge champs versus the pros. But that was the highlight of his television exposure in the past year. CM Punk is yet to sign on the dotted line for another MMA fight. There's been speculation UFC might not be the best place for his next fight either. After all, Mickey Gall made pretty quick work of him and embarrassed him at UFC 203. It's been almost a year since Punk's defeat in the Octagon, and some might think his UFC career was one and done. But any report saying CM Punk has no fight in the future might be mistaken, because Duke Rufus recently posted a picture of CM Punk saying he's awaiting his next fight confirmation. This is not really specific about how far into negotiations he is for another fight, but it's certainly a good sign that CM Punk might have another fight soon enough for MMA fans. But as long as CM Punk seems to be happy doing what he's doing, that is fine by me. As long as he's happy, man. I wish Punk all the best, even though it would be great to see him, yes, back in the WWE. But looks like he wants another fight. He wants to avenge his loss. He wants to come out and do better than he did against Mickey Gall. Can't blame the guy. He's got heart. He's got determination. He's got the passion for it. So I hope he succeeds, and I wish him the best. But all talk about CM Punk coming to the WWE, anything about it, it's nothing but clickbait. If CM Punk is coming back to the WWE, you will know it when CM Punk and Cult of Personality hits on Monday Night Raw. Simple as that. He's not coming back this year. The only time you should really expect anything regarding CM Punk news about a potential return, and I stated this, and this is a legitimate, thought that a lot of people have. There's not many people that 2K is going to be looking at for a selling point, or as a pre-order bonus, or as a DLC for WWE 2K19 and WWE 2K20. There's not many names out there. They've done everybody. They've done The Warrior, they've done Hogan, they've done Sting, they've done Goldberg, and now they're doing Kurt Angle. How many different guys are left for them to dip into the cookie jar and feature as a pre-order bonus for their game? CM Punk is the only one, legitimately, right now, that is the only guy left. He's the only guy left for them to really accumulate any interest as far as a video game goes. Unless they take a different stance and a different route on things. They're not going to go back to do The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's been done to nauseam. It is what it is. So CM Punk is really the only name out there that they could really feature in that way. And I think 2K is going to be the bridging gap between WWE and having a return to the company. That's just my prediction. Not saying that's going to happen, but that's going to be my prediction going forward. All other news about CM Punk, clickbait. Finally, guys, we're going to end on this. Sexy star, asshole star, stripped of the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, as you guys know. Last weekend, we talked about the Sexy Star incident where she legitimately injured Rosemary by not releasing a cross arm breaker. Sexy Star apparently wrote a 4-page response that I'm not going to read here because it's a bunch of bullshit. She is in complete denial. She sounds like a loser. She's an asshole. Nobody cares about Sexy Star. I'm glad that AAA has taken the belt from Sexy Star in light of this situation. Sexy Star has been stripped of the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. The announcement was made by AAA on Twitter Monday night. The announcement was made just a few hours after her 4-page statement with her version of what down at Triple Mania 25 with Rosemary. The statement had people scratching their heads because there was no apology in the letter, and she tried to accuse Rosemary of lying about being injured during the match. Maybe if Rosemary, and the doctor's orders telling her not to get in the ring is not good enough for you, Sexy Star, asshole star, then I don't know what is. A lot of people right now are blacklisting Sexy Star, and for good reason. I would not want to share a locker room with her. If I was a promoter, I would not book her to be a part of my promotion or on my show. She's an asshole. The one thing you have with another person in the ring is trust. That's the most important thing. She lost all that trust with what she did. So why would anybody else, following this incident, trust Sexy Star? Nobody will. Lady Shani versus Fabi Apache versus Big Mommy versus La Hiedra versus Goya Kong is set for the October 1st show at Heroes Immortales to determine the new Reinas de Reina championship. Or champion. So that is that. Sexy Star stripped. Good on them. Next thing you know, Or next thing that they should do is just terminate her from her contract and have her do nothing with AAA, you know? And the same goes for Lucha Underground. If there's a season 4, fuck Sexy Star. I wouldn't have her be anything in Lucha Underground. I never seen the appeal in Sexy Star anyway. She's trash. She's trash. The one thing, I'm a noob to Lucha Underground. And then I gotta see a woman who sucks like Sexy Star. You know, if you were legit like anybody else, and you wanted to fight a male, fine. But Sexy Star doing moves to Matanza and beating Johnny Mundo for the Lucha Underground Championship? Bro, Sexy Star ain't all that. And Sexy Star shouldn't have been booked to be Lucha Underground World Champion. I never seen the appeal in Sexy Star at all. She is garbage. I don't know what the appeal is, but the appeal to me is that she doesn't show her face on any wrestling promotion at all, because she's nothing but an asshole, and I'm glad she's stripped of this championship, and the next step is to just terminate her contract from this promotion and have her not walk into any other promotion, because the trust, gone. Went away in a cloud of smoke. Nobody will ever trust you again, and you're an asshole because she didn't apologize to Rosemary. Apparently Rosemary is lying. Give me a break. Give me a break. The woman was legitimately injured. If she wasn't hurt, she wouldn't have just come out and said, "Listen, I'm hurt." You know? You didn't follow the rules, and you had a problem with Taya, and you took it out on Rosemary, who had nothing to do with this situation. So, you, in turn, are a asshole. Goodbye, good riddance. I don't want to hear nothing about Sexy Star ever again. Gone. Goodbye. And I'm saying goodbye. That is off the script. Thank you guys so very much for episode number 2. Tomorrow we'll have an incident regarding Baron Corbin and what likely led to WWE slowing down his push. We have news on GFW hemorrhaging funds, Anthem ready to sell the company, and that's pretty much it. I don't have any other news. Hopefully there's more news breaking tomorrow. Otherwise, I got no news. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very short episode of Off the Script for Sunday morning. But we'll find something. There'll be news. I'm assuming there'll be news, man. Today it's Friday. I'm recording this on Friday for Saturday. Hopefully between this afternoon and all day Saturday, there'll be some news. So I'll see you guys right back here on Sunday for part 3 of Off the Script for episode 186. Thank you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. And make sure you guys check out all my sponsors, man. Capbeast.com. JD10 for 10% off. If you guys are in the market for custom-made caps, logos, embroidered hats, beanies, they got it done, man. JD10 at checkout for capbeast.com. Patreon.com. If you guys want to support the channel, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Barbershop Window for your official Off the Script merchandise. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And audibletrial.com. If you guys want something for free just for listening to me today, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much. I'll see you right back here on Sunday. Have a great Saturday. Have a cold beverage for me tonight. And I'll see you right back here for Off the Script Sunday morning for part number 3 of episode 186. I'll talk to you later.